Hi, I'm Jeffrey. I'm the Assistant General Manager at PDS International. Okay, been working here about 7 years. Yeah, so today we are going to cover on how to choose your safety shoes. Okay, let's go. Okay, so what should you look for when you are shopping for safety shoes? I think the first thing on everybody's minds is comfort. Okay, so we look for a thicker midsole. Okay, so basically try on the safety shoe, and then if you realize that you are sinking into the safety shoe the moment you stand up, generally that is too soft. You should try and do a little jump and see, because what you want to test for is whether the shoe is bouncy enough. Too soft means that there's not enough support for you, especially when you are wearing the shoe for 8 hours a day. Okay. The other thing to look out for is to pull out the insole and to see that, pinch it and see. If it's too thin, generally you might want to buy a separate insole or look for a shoe with a thicker insole. Bouncy and soft, but not too soft that you sink into it, because that's not going to give you enough bounce as you're walking around, as you're standing the entire day. Okay. The other thing you want to take note is that when you try on the safety shoe, do a little walk around, and what you want to see is whether your toes are hitting the toe cap, because the toe caps are all rigid, whether they are aluminum, steel, or composite. They are all rigid. So if your toes are hitting it, you have to go a size up. Okay. The other one you will need to do is actually do a little squat test. Why? Because what you don't want to happen to you is, because if you're squatting down to lift objects, the toe cap is going to cut into your foot. It's not going to be comfortable, and you will end up with potentially some bruising if you do buy that shoe. Okay, so look for something whereby there's a room within the toe cap for you to wiggle your toes as well. Okay. And then the next thing to look out for is the material of the shoe. Okay, so for inclement weather or for some rain protection, generally should look for a genuine leather upper, because leather is breathable, and also you will be able to get some form of water resistance. The other kind of shoe, if you want to look for maximum breathability, is microfiber and mesh kind of fabric uppers. So this will afford you with a lot of breathability, but not as much weather protection unless it has been oiled or coated material. So what is the next thing that you look out for when you are shopping for safety shoes? Safety. Okay, so there are basically about 3 categories generally when it comes to safety shoes. There's S1, then there's S1P, and then there's S3. S1 contains only the toe cap. Okay, so you're looking at something like this, whereby if you're working in an industry where there is a little risk of stepping onto sharp objects that can stab the underside of your foot, so you go for S1. Benefits are that it's lighter, only has a toe cap, so it will protect from objects falling from above as opposed to on the underside. Okay. Next, you look for S1P, such as this. Basically, it contains a penetration resistant mid plate for industries mechanical in nature, or for industries whereby you generally have risk of stepping onto very, very sharp objects. Okay, so S3 is a cumulative for, it has a toe cap, and it has a penetration resistant mid plate, and it has the added benefit of water resistance. So in general, you will find most S3s are made of leather, because it provides some form of weather protection, penetration resistant mid plate, and a toe cap to protect you. How to tell if it's S1 or S1P or S3? Generally, you can look at the tag of the shoe, or you can look at the label on the shoe box. And then always remember to ask the seller of the shoes if he has any form of third-party testing that has been done for these safety shoes. If he does not, it means that the shoes generally may not pass the safety standards that they claim to pass. Okay, so you must be wondering, after hearing about all the comfort and all the safety features, how much is it going to cost? Yeah, so I know you always want best quality, European quality, American quality, but you pay the China price. Usually this doesn't really happen. Yeah, okay. So generally for pricing, you actually want to go for value, because take it as a general guideline. Basically, the durability and the comfort levels will generally increase with the price point. Okay, so you look for a too cheap. If the shoe is too cheap, how too cheap? You're buying it at 30 bucks, 20 something bucks. You will generally get a single density outsole. Means the midsole and the outsole here is the same squishiness. So what happens is it wears out very fast. Okay, it means that you will need to keep replacing the shoes more frequently than if you top up a bit more, maybe $40-50, and you can get a better quality shoe. Then you can replace maybe about twice a year. Okay. Then the other thing you want to take note is that too cheap, manufacturers will start to use fake leather. So when they use fake leather, it means that your breathability is not going to be as good as real leather or the microfiber mesh. Okay. Feet start to sweat more. Workers experience skin problem, and workers say sweat already, not comfortable. You don't really want to wear the shoe. So for those guys who are like logistics driver, you will see them wearing slippers or wearing their normal shoes and leaving their safety shoes in the vehicle. So that is not what you want. Okay, so in the end, you pay peanuts, you get monkey lah. So generally, for price point wise, it is actually more advisable for you to go with a balanced price with quality versus a price point. Okay, so if you take care of your shoes will take care of you. Okay, so generally, don't wear your shoe like slipper. I know lah, sometimes lazy, lacing very leceh. So we have a solution for you. This is called the lazy man boots. It's just elastic here, so you just slip it on and slip it off. Very convenient. But if you don't have that luxury, then sorry, you have to take care of your shoes. Okay, so generally try to store it in a clean area, dry area. If you are not going to use it for a long period, say over the weekend, you might want to put some of this paper that came in the box, slot it inside, or use crushed up newspaper. It absorbs a lot of moisture, because most of your shoes will be made of polyurethane. Polyurethane is a hydrophilic material. It loves water, and Singapore being a very humid environment, polyurethane will keep absorbing moisture, and when it absorbs too much moisture, it will start to disintegrate and it will start to peel off. Okay. Next thing is, look out for signs of wear and tear. How? Are there holes in your uppers? Is any of the parts worn out? Okay. Are you now seeing that your heel is worn out, such that you cannot balance properly anymore? Okay. Then you need to change. Is your outsole peeling out? Is it disintegrating? For example, are you walking on the street or at work and leaving behind a lot of breadcrumbs? If so, then you need to change your shoe. Okay. Or if you have encountered any recent accidents that are heavy impact on the toe cap, you will also need to change your shoes. Okay, how do you clean your shoes? Generally, if it's dusty or if it's muddy, just take a damp cloth and wipe it down. Okay, or maybe some normal soap and water. Do not use detergent, don't use alcohol to wipe it down. Okay.